Hello. We are fresh off of one of the most invigorating live sessions that I've ever hosted. So for those that know, Passport to Peace, the workshop, it went live yet today, last night. And it was advertised as a 90-minute session, did a whole deck presentation, calculator tool, template, all the things. We ended up going for 3 hours, y'all. 3 hours. It got to a point where I was like, this is so much fun. And the chat is so lit. If you gotta go, please, you'll get the replay. But I'm trying to kick it. I will sit here and answer every single question. Like, let me make sure y'all get what you came for. So it was beautiful because there was flow in how I got to deliver all the most important information that, yeah, would just help them get started. And then they also got to ask more specific questions based on their specific circumstances. And I was just so okay, listen, this video is going to be about one of the things that I talked about in the workshop that I would love to share with you all. And I'll probably host another one in a few weeks. I don't know. We'll see how things go. In the video description, that's where you can find all the information about the next event. But for now, I'm still sitting in the high of last night. And yeah, check your emails if you signed up and weren't able to attend live. Check your email for the replay, calculator tool, template, all the things. And I'm most proud because I love making presentations in Canva. I remember being, I don't know, like 11, and we would have these art projects, and I would get construction paper and I would outline all the images, and I would do it like 3 times. So it had a triple outline. I don't know. I've always been very artsy. I might not have been good at my art as a child, but digital tools are incredible. So Canva, I mean, I've been a user for over a decade, and it's allowed me to really fine tune creative education because I think that's what I'm actually doing. I have, documents of information, but I'm not just going to deliver it to you in basic, boring text. So how do I make education visual and engaging and fun? And I think that's been my journey as a creative educator and coach. So I feel like I got to tap into a different part of my arsenal and my toolkit and how I design the presentation and how I let it flow. And yeah, I'm always learning from my own process. So I asked ChatGPT to critique my filler words and let me know if it was too information heavy, what parts could I do better. So yeah, I'm just always learning from the process and just again, my gratitude to everyone who showed up and just yeah, it was such a good time. It didn't feel like I was meeting strangers on the internet. It felt like I was going to a high school reunion where we all got to remember the good old days. Okay, so this video, we're going to talk about the first things that you want to do in months 1 through 3. I think this is something that's super practical. If you are someone that is giving yourself a 1 to 2 year runway to completely move your life abroad, here are the things that you could really focus on doing in the first 3 months. And everything that I'm going to share is so that when you're ready to actually get on the flight to completely pick up your life and start it somewhere else, you don't have any anxiety, you don't have any nerves or fears. You're like, I did the work, so I could just kind of show up. Okay, so number one, renew your passport. And right now, I believe whenever you're going to watch this, it's like a government shutdown happening in the US. I don't know what they got going on over there, but understand that the US is not the only country that you could get your US passport renewed in. When I tell you, it was like 2021. I flew to Bali because there's a US consulate and embassy here. I flew to Bali to get my passport renewed. It was back to my villa in 2 to 3 days. And I knew that there was like, okay, there might be a way to do it. I don't know if it's going to be different. But I remember in the US, I was trying to figure out the expedited route, but that wasn't guaranteed. There was a backup because of COVID. Uh, then I called and they're like, well, you got to come to Texas. I was like they were sending me, oh, or you can go to New Jersey. And I'm like, if I'm getting on a plane, I'm getting up out of the country. So I had literally been trying to renew my passport because I wanted to go to Bali. And I was like, okay, if I can get away, if they let me board this flight, then it was a risk because I was down to my final page on a 52 pager. I've been through four passports. So I'm like, rarely do they, this is the insider, rarely do they actually check for the two blank pages that they request or require. So I was like, okay, there's a chance they're not even going to go to the very back. They'll just, it is what it is. So yeah, they let me board and all was good. So I got to Bali. I had been emailing them like, yeah, I think I might be coming. Like, what's the process? How long does it take? They're like, what's your address? And so I'm like, let me just book an Airbnb because they even deliver it to you if you want. And the process was so simple. So you go to the consulate. I think it's a consulate, not an embassy. But yeah, you go to the US consulate and you have like it's heavily patrolled. There's security guard, there's officers working. So very legit government building and they make you strip. There are so many ways I could have worded that. They make you uh, take out things out of your pocket. They don't make you take off your clothes. What in the Freudian slip? What? Okay. They I'm like, did I want them to make me strip? I'm like, what's coming through, Glow? Get it together. Okay, so you empty out your pockets and you have to give up your phone. That was something that I was like, oh, interesting. Because I was actually kind of documenting the process. I was going to post it to my Instagram story to let people know, hey, you can get your passport renewed in a couple days in Bali, just FYI. And they're like, oh, nope. They take everything. And not only that, they watch you turn your phone off before submitting it. So I was like, that was interesting, but I was like, okay, it is what it is. So yeah, I go to the desk and of course it's an American, like, what's up? What do you need? So jolly old white guy. So I'm like, oh, just need my passport renewed and I heard that you could do it here, so I would love to. And I'll make sure that I drop in the description the building and the address in Bali where I got this done. And of course, I'm texting that to myself so I don't forget. Bali consulate to renew passport. And it was very straightforward. They accepted it, told me how long it would take, which was like 2 days. I think I went in on a Thursday. That's why I was like, they said it would be ready Saturday or Monday. But they were like, yeah, what's your villa address? And I happened to be transferring villas by the first day they said it would be ready. So I was like, if it's okay, can I just come back and pick it up? Like, I don't mind. I love riding on the back of a scooter, so it'll work for me. And yeah, they're like, sure. And the cost was the same. I don't think it was, literally, whatever it's currently priced at for the US, it's the exact same price in Bali. So nothing is, yeah. And I did actually pay extra for the 52-page book. So I have the more pages, but that was it. They got my WhatsApp. They sent me an email that it's ready for pickup. And then I showed up, same process. They collected my phones, not strip searched, but pocket searched. And that was that. And he was like, enjoy it. Like it was just so there was no line. Like and even before you enter, it's a very interesting situation. There's no lobby. It's just kind of like a patio and then a door to like a talking window. There's like no inside of the building where you hang out. It's just, and then there's a guard outside of that door. So yeah, and the guard lets you know when you can walk in. But both times that I went there, I think one person came after I left, but no line, no waits, no delays, no issues. And in the back, I kind of peeked, like, what the office looked like. It just packed piles of paper. And I'm like, what kind of operation are they running back here? I don't care. It's efficient and I will come back. So now that I'm based full time, mostly full time in Bangkok, it's cool to know that if I ever need to renew my passport, it's a 3.5 hour nonstop flight away. So oh, the perks of living in Asia. Okay, so that's the first thing. Renew your passport, and if you can't do it in the US, get a trip to Bali. Start your visa process. If you are going the short-term nomad visa or long-term residency path, That could involve more paperwork, more protocol, more proof of income. I actually don't recommend that right away. For many people, if you are moving abroad, do not try to do it in one go. Go and have like an immersion experience, go for a couple weeks, go for a month and test the waters. Do you see yourself living there? Do you see yourself building a life there? Do you see yourself building a community there? And, it's not always going to be a super easy or positive experience. It is very confronting to be like, yo, I'm really out here in this country where I don't speak the language and I'm by myself. And I got to go to the cafe and make friends. And I have to put in the effort to build community. These things aren't just handed to you. So yeah, it's really worth going for that first trip and then maybe starting the visa process once you realize how long you want to stay there. But a lot of what I said on the call, there's, you know, maybe out of the top 15 countries that I recommended, seven, the average visa can be done on arrival and the average cost is $40. Cool. And then number three, start cutting down your expenses. You probably don't even realize that, I would cancel your Amazon Prime because canceling your Amazon Prime will trigger you to spend less. And when I tell you the thousands of dollars I've saved on not impulse buying convenience crap, like you're just always constantly paying for convenience at the detriment of your resourcefulness. I love creatively solving problems. And when I'm always just a click away from something else solving my problem, it doesn't allow me to co-create and be a part of this human experience. So really consider canceling your Amazon. We boycotted or we unsubscribed from Hulu and Disney because of the uh, all that happened with Jimmy Kimmel. But yeah, I think for the first 7 years that I was abroad, I didn't have any streaming services. There is a website, let me put it in the chat. I believe it's Cineby.app. And it's kind of, I don't know, it's illegal. I don't know if it's illegal. It's pirated content. What I'm saying is if you still want access to shows and movies, but you don't want a subscription, I will drop the link in the video description. Don't say I didn't do anything nice to you, okay? Nice for you. But yeah, so I think just getting rid of those random subscriptions, canceling your Prime account, canceling maybe your gym membership because you haven't been in 6 months. But you'll realize all of that is adding to the eventual cost of maybe your plane ticket. So I just want you to just get really good at reallocating your money because you don't want to be pinching your pennies when you're stepping into an expansive life. I was penny pinching because I was broke. I don't want that to be your introduction to life abroad. The version of my life that I get to live now is so abundant, it's so luxurious, and it's not about luxury things. It's the spaciousness and the safety net that I've created for myself so that I'm not constantly like, you can have a budget, but not be frugal about an expansive lifestyle, if that makes sense. Oh, wait, and then decluttering. This was probably the hardest, most traumatic, and triggering thing that I had to do packing my life in the US. Facing my literal crap and being like, your utility value is $100 because you were used once and I spent $100 on it. Like it was frustrating to realize all of the convenience crap that I impulse purchased that didn't actually add to my life or wasn't ever used. It was really annoying to like face myself and be like, Glow, do you have a hoarding problem? Do you have a spending problem? Do you have an impulse problem? Like, what are all of these gadgets really doing or adding to your life? And when it comes down to it, how many of these gadgets are coming with you to the US? And I got to a point, and I think many entrepreneurs can relate to this feeling where you finally have a little bit of abundance and you're just like, whoa, my bank account is not uh it's not coasting at zero. Like when you live, in poverty, you're constantly at zero. If there's ever anything in your account, it's a surprise. Like you don't expect money in your account ever. So when it is there, it's like a shock. And so when I was building my brand in my 20s and it started to get to a point where my baseline was like 100. If I had $100 in my account, oh, I felt so rich. I was like, man, I could do whatever I want in this world. I can go anywhere. And then I started to raise it, 500, then 1,000, then 10,000. But for many years, my baseline was like $0 to $10. Like that was what I was used to seeing in my account. And because of that, you live your life feeling like, man, I'll never know what true abundance feels like. And then you step into a place where you see six figures in your account. You're like, shit, we can do whatever we want. Those Jordans that you didn't get when you were 7 years old, get 10 of them. No, I was never like that. But I'm grateful that my impulse purchases were just trips. I just went on some random trips just because the ticket was available. So, yeah, I'm grateful that, I have a couple Jordans that were milestone purchases when I hit $1 million. But yeah, it's mostly just random gadgets. I think when I wanted to build out my podcast studio in my apartment in the US, I bought all of these tools for like an official podcast studio, but never really actualized the full vision of that. So lots of just doohickeys. So as you're decluttering, you could do the Facebook Marketplace route. I don't have much experience with that. I was kind of terrified, to be honest, listing my stuff and then having to meet people to like pick it up. That just sounded terrifying to me. I'm like, I got it. I don't know. It just felt like Craigslist quality people. And oh my gosh, I look naked. Sorry. What is happening? It just felt like, yeah, I couldn't trust the quality of the people that would be coming to pick up my couch. So, yeah, I did end up in probably 2 days, literally. I texted all my Atlanta. Oh, I just gave away my city. I didn't share it for a long time, but I texted all of the people that lived in that city, and I was like, "Yo, come pick it up. I'm out of here." Like, and at first, I really wasn't gonna charge. I didn't have capacity to look up the receipts of, man, how much did I spend on this plant? How much did I spend on this chair? I didn't have that in me, and I just wanted to clear out the apartment. And yeah, I think the first person that came, it was like really late. She came with her son, and I was like, yeah, just take the bookshelf, take this, take that. And she was like, Glow, really, like I should be giving you money for this. This is great stuff. And I just sat with it. I was like, I'll think about it. Well, for the next person. But I was like, for you, just take it. And she's just a shout out to you, though. You're just a quality person. So I was like, yeah, nah, you've done so much for me. And I'm happy to, if this can add to your life, I'm happy to offer it. And yeah, then it started to pick up. I had some friends reach out to other friends, like, hey, there's this chick, she's selling stuff, go see what you like. And so then people were coming in, and probably every hour, I had like two people just rotating. And so what I did is was very bootleg. I took sticky notes and I just put like $25. These are all the things that are 25. And then like $5. Here's all the things that are five. And people kind of just like got like a little basket and just I had these like basket bags and yeah, they just kind of like put things in. And there was even one point I was like, I can't even do the math. I'm like, yeah, let's just say all of this is 100. That's fine. Okay, all of that, you're taking, four pieces of big furniture, let's say 500. And I mean, you're not ever going to get the dollar value of what you spent. And that's not even the point. You really just want to get rid of junk that you're not using and that you won't be taking. And if you get a storage unit, which leads to another video that I'll make about that process, yes, you could have it in there, but if it's something that adds to your life and it's has good utility, you don't want it to just collect dust when someone could actually be getting good use out of it. So I know that I was like, I wanted it to go to someone. And then I had a friend reach out who lived in LA, and her daughter had happened to just move into her college dorm. And I was like, perfect. And again, a situation like that, I'm like, tell her to sweep up. She could take whatever she wants, obviously for free. Because I remember those days of like, man, I want to decorate my dorm, but I don't got the money or the budget to decorate how I want. So it just felt amazing to just be a blessing. And so her boyfriend, the friend, they all came and cleared out so much. Like that was a blessing. And yeah, it like it blessed me because it got rid of so much, and I didn't it's going to a good person, a good cause. Like it just felt not a cause, but decorating your dorm, or your apartment is a lot of work, and that takes a lot of money. And at a young age, you want to be spending your money on, yeah, getting your life started, not on furniture. So that's that. And then the final thing, which is probably the most fun and something that carried me for like 8 months last year, all I watched on YouTube were tours from expats in different cities and countries. I was like Googling, condo tour Vietnam. What's it like to live in Houston, Texas, which was almost the city that we moved to? Crazy to think about. And I was just constantly just watching people live life and talk about life outside of the US. That kept me sane. I would literally wake up excited to hear someone just talk about what it's like to be out of this hellscape. I was just, and maybe it's crazy because a full circle moment. Now I'm maybe doing it for some of you all. And I could just feel the levity. I could feel the joy, the light, the ease, the peace. And I had already lived abroad. So it wasn't like I was experiencing it for the first time. It was knowing that, yeah, Glow, even as a fully fledged adult, where you felt like moving back to the US was the responsible thing to be close to family, to set your business up, and to continue to build a bigger network with some of the big wigs in the industry. And yeah, there were even some talks about, hosting a podcast for different networks. And like I would be the spokesperson on behalf of the brands and what it would look like to. There were things that I was entertaining in Hollywood that weren't a part of my path, but it was being offered. And I think the hardest thing as a creative is when you don't see what your future holds, you kind of say yes to anything and you don't know if that's the right thing. So I started to fear, am I missing out or turning down opportunities that would actually change my life? And I'm like, Glow, you change your life. You have already changed your life just by way of doing what you want and pursuing a path that most can't relate to. You you don't need Hollywood. And you got 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 good years left to live 10 more lives if you want to. So, not to live in that scarcity of moving away from like a powerful city or country and letting it feel like it dangles a carrot, over your success. And yeah, that was it. So, this is months 1 through 3. Okay. So if you are in the 1 year countdown process, this is all you should be concerned about in the first 3 years. And in the decluttering process, I don't want you to not have a couch. So if you're saying, well, Glow told me to start selling stuff, I said start decluttering, which isn't yet fully cleaning out your furniture. It's more of like, let me go through this closet or cabinet that hasn't been touched in 5 years and figure out if there's any documentation that I actually might need to take with me when I travel. That's what I mean. Okay, y'all, this was cute. My massage lady is on the way. I am pampering myself because yesterday I gave so much of myself, and I'll do it again. I actually stayed up. The call was at 8 a.m. Bali time, and I was so terrified that I would sleep through my alarm because I haven't had an alarm in years. I wake up when my body is done sleeping. Come on, somebody. And so I was like, yo, I didn't think this through. I don't know. 8 a.m. is, oof, who am I going to be at that hour? So yeah, I powered through and I just stayed up. I had a coffee around 4 a.m. and thank goodness. And here was probably the hack. There would be random moments where I would yawn and I'm like, thank you, God. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. And I just kept interjecting with praise. Thank you, God. Oh, I know. Oof, you get me prepared, God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Oof. Yes, it's gonna be so good. And I just spoke life over the workshop, even though I was yawning in the hours leading up to it, which is just a powerful reminder that, you know, what's the scripture? Speak things as though they were, even if they're not. It's better than that. Speak things Speak things that be not as though they are. Speak things that be not as though they are. So yeah, I was lit, but it was amazing. So now The next 24 hours are going to be pampering. I'm going to get a full body massage. I'll probably ask for 2 hours. Just put me in a deep sleep, okay? Then I will be meeting up with an old basketball teammate. We played club basketball together. It's probably been 15 years since we've seen each other. We're going to get breakfast, and then I'm going to get my lashes done, probably get my nails done. I found a cute design. We're going to get spicy and flirty again. Yeah, I feel like this season is just like fun. So I'm going to be playful with my nails. I'm usually very basic. And then, yeah, there's a couple things I might do, but I haven't decided, so I don't want to put it out there yet. And yeah, lashes, nails, yeah, probably maybe just another spa, like in-person spa. Yeah, because your girl's heading back to Bangkok on Sunday. So I'm looking forward to being back in my space. But this has been a dream all month, just staying at these gorgeous places. I hope you've been appreciating the backgrounds. I try to diversify it so you can really see just how beautiful these places are. But as always, thanks for joining. Here is more ways to work with me, learn from me, or get access to any of the things that I've created, masterclasses, ebooks. And this is the video that I posted yesterday in case you missed it. It's a long one, but it's a good one. All right, enjoy. Bye.